All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a welcome toast by the father of the bride. Here we go, Andrew.
Lois, you never told me we were having so many people here tonight.
You know, Andrew, after all these years, I would think that you would listen when I talk to you. And you would know.
I think I walked right into that one. But anyways, I want to thank everybody for being here, but more importantly, I want to thank everybody for praying for no rain. It worked out real good. So I had quite a few umbrellas in my pickup, but we didn't need them. First of all, Lois and I would definitely like to thank everybody for being here tonight. This is really marvelous. This is a great send-off for Amy and Matt. This is something that we've all looked forward for quite a while. It has arrived. Of course, what would a wedding be like without great family and great friends like you? So once again, thank you for being here. I want to make just a brief comment on what it takes to plan a wedding. Okay? Lois and Amy jumped right into this process, not having a clue of the time and effort it would take to pull this off. Many questions, few answers, and I could see the stress level going like this. But then, to our surprise, somebody came forward and volunteered to help. This person is a very experienced and knowledgeable wedding planner. I want to introduce my dear sister, Mary Jo. Come on, Mary Jo, get up. I love you. What you see today are the fruits of her labor. So, next, I'm going to talk to Amy Lynn. Are you nervous? Usually when we talk, she's in trouble. Well, Amy, are you still a little nervous?
No. I
am. You should be. You married her. Actually, I'm a little nervous because you gained a husband today. Matt gained a wife. And I've been trying to figure out for the last month, what the hell am I going to gain?
A son-in-law.
That's not what I was thinking. I gained a stack of bills. Of course, I think that's what the father of bride is expected to do. You know, Amy, this is your day. It's very precious for you and Matt and for all your family and friends. It's hard to imagine that the little baby we brought home from the hospital is this beautiful bride sitting beside me right now. It is just amazing. This is your day, and we all love you. Now, moving right along. I wanted to think about what I was going to say, and I wrote out quite a few speeches. Threw them all away, and 3 o'clock this morning, I got up and I wrote this out. Now I can't read it. But really what I'm trying to say is, you are so precious. One of the things is, did you ever think of where the name Amy came from? I researched it. You ready? Amy is a French name. It means beloved, dear to the heart, generous, and independent. Do you know what independent means? Lois found out at age 3. Amy was age 3, and she said, Mom, I don't need your help for anything. I can pick out this dress for church. No, you can't, Amy. It's not a problem. Anyways, Amy's been this way all the way up to today. You guys know this, right? Okay. So that's your name. Now, when you came into this world a couple years ago, You were born with many talents. And those talents you put into motion real quick. And that was a good thing. Some of those talents were energy. Me? I don't know where your energy came from. You used to run around the house 90 miles an hour. Grandma in Cardona said you were a chatterbox and a busybody. My dad, Grandpa in Cardona, said you were in high gear. This big guy sitting over here is Jim Ryan. You always called him Uncle Jim. We made a family trip back to Pennsylvania, because the Ryans and the Incardonas are from Pennsylvania. 2,150 miles. Amy never ran out of questions. She asked Jim time and time, and her answer always was, why? Why? But anyways, moving down the road, not only energy, but you had the knack for building values. Your whole life, I don't know if you knew it or not, but you were focused on building values. Respect, like respect for your family, which was utmost. Compassion for your friends, and just a commitment to doing what you thought was best. Next, you were able, and I know you don't remember this, you were able to set goals. For a little girl all the way up through high school, you set goals that were like little stepping stones to get where you were. You always knew where you were, but you wanted to get over here, and so you set these goals to get there, and you did. Then you were a great decision maker. Didn't like any of my decisions, but you liked your decisions. But you made decisions on how to build relationships. Relationships with family, friends, and coworkers. And that's commendable in today's society. You made decision you wanted to go on to college. Now this is a great story. This is why I'm bald. Amy said late in their senior year in high school, Horizon High School. Remember that, Matt? Okay. She said, Dad, I'm going to go to college. I said, okay. She said, I'm going to go to U of A. I said, okay. Who? And then she dropped the bomb on me. She says, I'm going to major in fashion merchandising. I says, what in the hell are you going to do with that? I said, well, I'll give her a year and a half, and she'll come to her senses, get acclimated to college life and being away from home. I was right. She called. She says, Dad, I'm transferring to NAU. I said, okay. And she said, I'm going to major in accounting. And I said, bravo. I says, I know a guy that worked there for 37 years in the finance and accounting organization. He did pretty good for himself. Then comes the bombshell. She says, Dad, I'm going to live with Tony. I said, what? I said, you don't even talk to him. That's when my hair started to fall out. And so between Tony and Amy, this is where I am. So thank you very much. Remember? So what was next? I can't read that. You decided in college that you wanted to work your summers. You wanted to be productive. Because, you know, you're going 90 miles an hour. You can't just sit around for 3 months and not do anything. So you got a summer job at Motorola building electronic widgets for one of our space programs. You loved the high-tech industry, so next year that led to an internship. And then you worked for Motorola. Between Motorola and Honeywell, spent about 15 years. And now you're working for Express Script and doing a great job. So your career's been on fire. The last thing I want to say is you taught me a lot. You did. You taught me to be a better father, and you taught me to be a better person. And I am so ever grateful. The rest of this is to you, Matthew. The first time I saw you two together, I could really tell there was a lot of love between each other. And that made me feel real good. But tonight's Tonight's the night I need to give you some advice. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've been married 2 hours, and this old man wants to give me some advice. Tough. Here's the advice. This is the end of my speech. Sorry for going on so long. Matt, when I was raising or helping to raise Amy, there was a lot of responsibilities. And I boiled them down into 2 responsibilities. One was unconditional love. No matter what the circumstances were, Amy had to know that I would always love her. The second responsibility was to protect her. And as a young girl, it was easy because the line of sight I had for her every day, every night. But then as she got older, driving around town, doing whatever, going to college, you lose that line of sight. But I never gave up protecting her. Now you guys are married. I'm passing the baton to you. It is your responsibility to always love Amy Lynn and to always protect her. Have I been clear? You sure? I want an affirmative on this.
Yes, sir. All right, Matt's older brother, I'm going to give a little context to Matt and Amy's relationship. You know, Matt called me in December, I think of 2013, said he was in a kind of a dark place in his life, and hey, I'm going to come live with you in Portland. My wife and I are like, great, one more person we got to feed. We were quite used to that, but Matt was actually a pretty good cook. I mean, it got to the point where Matt was asking me what I wanted for dinner, not my wife, and it was actually probably the best time in my wife and I's relationship. You know. But so Matt comes to Portland. We're living in Portland, Oregon. Not the best place to come to when you're in a dark place in your life. You know, most people come there become alcoholics. My wife and I were on our way there. And Matt lives with us. I think it was probably January or February. He says, hey, I hooked up with this girl on Facebook. Hooked up, whatever they do on Facebook. I can't remember my password, so I can't get on anymore. But Matt says, I met this girl I met in elementary school, middle school, and we're going to meet in Portland. He stops by a bar one night and says, hey, we're going to meet in Portland, because that's what we do in Portland, drink. And I'm thinking nothing good's going to come of this. I'm like, you know, pictures lie on the internet, you know. But hey, he does what he wants to do, because that's always been my brother's way. And probably 3 or 4 months later, he goes, I'm moving back to Phoenix to live with Amy. And I'm like, have we talked to Amy about this? So long story short, about 6 months later, I had to travel to work to Phoenix, and Amy was kind enough to let me stay at their house. And I called my wife after the first couple days, and I said, I don't see this working. I said, these two are exact opposites. Amy wants to know, you know, everything, when it's going to be done. Matt's like, whatever. And I'm like, I don't. But after about the second week of Amy putting up with 2 Mendonzas, because that is not a simple task, because we take nothing seriously, and I saw the love, and I saw how happy my brother was. I thought, well, maybe this can work. So luckily, work sent me 2 or 3 months later back to Phoenix. Amy let me stay at her house again. And it was the same thing. You know, they're getting along, and I've never seen my brother as happy in our lives, probably except when we were playing quarters when he was like 12. But, you know, I hadn't seen my brother that happy in a long time, and it really is. I would call my wife and say, I think there's something here. And so I just right now want to wish Matt and Amy a long, happy, long marriage. So to you and Amy, Matt. And in Cardonas, welcome to the family. It's not easy. Yeah. So thank you to Matt and Amy.
It's a tough act to follow. So, from the first time I saw these two together, you could tell this was really special between them. And it's probably the first time I've ever seen Amy act so much as herself and just be able to be who she is for the first time. So you could tell that it was just like an incredible union. And the first time Matt came over to our house and fell into my pool with all of his clothes on, I thought, now that's a keeper. And it's been about like that ever since. So I want to really congratulate the two of you. I know Amy is about the pickiest person I've ever met. And this isn't everything, and definitely in men, because you should have seen her list of all of the requirements and specifications of what this perfect man that she was going to marry had to have. And I'm telling you, I'm like, I think she's a little nuts. I don't believe this guy actually exists outside of like Hollywood or Disney or whatever she was watching when she came up with the list. But I'll be danged if Matt didn't come along and make her a better woman, which, Matt, that means you're the perfect guy. And we really appreciate that you came along, because you met everything that this picky chick ever wanted. Congratulations.
Hello, everyone. So I had conflicting information on if I was doing a speech or not, so I did not prepare anything. So this is one of those rare occasions where you get all the special people in one room and you're able to tell them how much they mean to you and how special they are. So I want to take this moment to thank some people specifically, and I want to start with the bar staff. Thank you. On a serious note, we want to thank everyone that came here tonight, the out-of-town people, all the Incardonas, all the Mendonzas. Aunt Mary Jo, thank you. This couldn't have been done without you. I want to thank the groomsmen, but it's going to be short because I'm going to spend time on the bridesmaids, because you guys really didn't do crap. You guys, thank you for everything you did for making this perfect for her. People asked me if I was nervous, and I wasn't nervous at all. All I wanted was a perfect day for her. That's all I cared about. So I'm glad it went off without a hitch. I didn't care about the rain. She did, so I'm glad it didn't rain. All that mattered to me was being married to her in the end. So that's it. Wait, hold on. One more thing. So he looked up Amy's name, and I already know what my name means, and it's a gift from God.
If everybody could please raise your glass and toast to Matt and Amy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is a plated dinner this evening.